Welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab, in the wee hours of the morning. I do what I do for you. Well, I found some good stuff in the book for you guys today, so get ready. I got a lesson for you. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. Message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. You got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, and I'm on it. Your goal is to know thyself. If you're a right thinker, that's what your aim is. Let's go. The question I asked, do you know you? It's rhetorical. If you don't have the answer, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I got the information to prove that too. A person who knows, but knows not that they know, it's okay. They're spiritually asleep. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know that self. And to my yacht, be true. I'm in the book of learning how to become a priest or priestess in the order, and it's good information. So for all those who want to continue being the right thinker, maybe get involved to raise your level to being a teacher, this is your, these are the things you need to understand if that's what you want to be. Other than that, just check this out, because this is what I do. What does it, right thinkers, let's talk about what does it mean to live by truth? What does it mean to face the truth? Remember, you can't handle the truth. If you can't live by it, you can't face it. You won't handle it. We in a society right now where if you're a truth teller, you're a bad guy. I took lessons from my ancient Egyptian ancestors because they lived by these truths. And as a society, they prospered by these truths. And I had a guy comment, if they had so much spiritual belief system, how they could take over by the Greeks? Simple. When you teach somebody something, and they take what you give them and use it against you because they added a little something else to it, which is force. Learn your history, make better questions, and understand. I just teach. I don't debate. So get your information. I don't mind the comment, appreciate it, but no, when people do what they do, sometimes right now we being taken advantage of, and we smart, we better than them, but it's a situation that we as a people put ourselves in. How about that? We as a people are gonna get us out. You think Jesus coming back to save you? That's the wrong concept. So let's talk about truth. Only thing that can get you out of bad or lies is the truth. Simple. Let's talk about it. Let me education. And the concept here is they're saying, I have not stopped my ears against the words of right and wrong. That's my philosophy. That's what I teach, right there in philosophy. From the precepts of Mayat in the Pert M. Haru, the ancient book of coming forth by day. Let's talk about what successful right thinking and Nuttarian aspirants must learn. The art of what? Living by truth. I call myself a truth teller. I speak Makaru from the heart, truth. So I understand this. So let me see if I can get other people to understand it, because this is what I live by, and this is why. Watch this. Now, this is one of the most important injunctions of the Maya philosophy, and there's 42 of them. Those who cannot face higher truth in order to leave behind their ignorant notions about life cannot attain spiritual enlightenment. Stop. If you are hell bent on what you believe, I got no use for you. I can't help you. Help yourself. Why? Because you destroy your own self. You self-destructive with your ignorant belief system that you in love with, and you refuse to go otherwise. So watch this. I'm talking to you guys now. You cannot obtain spiritual enlightenment or function as a reasonable, well-adjusted human being in the ordinary sense of society or civilization. Again, we got a bunch of people like that, and some of them is in control, high power positions. In order to become caught up in what the illusions, desires, and the fears of human life, what I teach and preach about on a day-to-day basis. Why? Because this is just real, and half of us doing it don't have a clue. So trust me, a person must what? Overlook the truth. Really? An example of this, watch this, is the attitude towards what? Death. We all know we're gonna die, but we all scared to death of death. Perfect example. That's the truth. But you overlook it. Watch this. That's the concept. Roll with me. Now, you got most people do what? Not acknowledge what? Their mortality. I just gave you that. Recognizing your mortality. That's a concept that you got to put and understand in your mind. Even though, watch this, they see women. Ignorant and dumb is seeing, thinking other people die. You're going to die too. So that's just ignorant. And you see other people around you, see them dying. Really? So watch this. People live as if they are not going to die. Watch this. And consequently, they do not take care to seek the deeper meanings, aka knowing themselves of life, and but the afterlife. They don't believe in the afterlife. Why? They don't even know this one. That's the ignorance of higher self. With knowledge of self, higher self, you had the concept of the afterlife. Because you know what's inside you don't die, just the physical body, knowing your mortality. However, again, even if truth is acknowledged, that does not mean that one can be what? Immediately free from fear, false evidence appearing real. You cause fear. Fear don't exist. You make it like the devil. Again, you create it. Fear, anxiety, again, something you create, or desire, again, your creation, and their attendant entanglements and sufferings. Because of the fear, anxiety, and desire, you keep putting yourself through the same rigors and get the same results. Happy 1 minute, depressed the next, up and down. That's not a good way to live. And you end up suffering. That condition, watch this, develop what? Over lifetimes. Yeah, cycles, regeneration. So it cannot be cured overnight. Trust me. However, it can be cured. See? A Netarian or right thinker, sage, priest, or priestess does not overlook the truth about life. We keep it real. If you can't keep it real with yourself, you're going to have problems. It's personal. So get with the movement, get understanding, and listen to the teachings that somebody who know can help you out. If you go about just what you know, the brain does two things: imagine and remember. But it also takes in information. It had to be downloaded. Practice getting information. Download. That's called obtaining knowledge, aka enlightenment. He or she undergoes a specific training. Right now, that's what you're going through, right, thinkers? To what? Face and deal with the truth. I'm trying to keep it real with you. The ultimate reality of life is what? Death. The opposite, life, death. You can't have one without the other. And you got after death, there is what? Potentially, there's a potential immortality concept. And in that realization, there is supreme peace. When most older people die, They question, did they have their house in order? That means, were they at peace with themselves? Did they make peace? Yeah. And those, they go into a good night, no problem. Those who don't, fight, kick, and scream. Why? Because the end is nigh, and they don't want it to happen. They fight it. So they wasn't ready. Okay? So you know what? For them guys, they're going to be reincarnated. Why? They didn't get it right, obviously. And when you reach supreme peace, watch this. Power and freedom will be yours. In order to realize what the highest of truth, we call them spiritual truths, the practitioner, moi, must undergo what? A radical, I've been called a radical change in the attitude towards what? This most sacred phenomenon. My attitude back then was me. Do, get, have. Now I'm a humble servant to try to help enlighten, educate others. If that ain't radical change, trust me. And watch this. My attitude toward the world and their own existence. I know who I am. I'm trying to help other people recognize themselves. That's it. That's it. We ain't got to go no further. Why? I make it real simple for you. That's all I got for you. Knowledge and understanding that you can use to know thyself and better. That's it. That is accomplished how? By living in accordance with greater and greater insights into what? The truth that you manifest for yourself and of yourself when you know thyself. I'm cringing right now. There are two truths. I'm telling you that for a while. Watch this. Mayate. There is a truth, watch this, of time and space, which is what we live in right now. Then there's a truth that transcends time and space. That's the spiritual and the mental concept that I'm trying to get you to understand. Living in one, other one you got to learn. That's what we teach. In order to realize that truth, watch this, that transcends time and space, what has to happen? Mortality. It is necessary to what? Adapt a lifestyle governed by the precepts of Maya, that's on my wall over there, and be initiate an initiatic way of life, of a hemu. Hemu, that means in Egypt concept, that's priest or priestess. Hemu, Hemet is the female. Hemu is the male again. But that's an enlightened being who put the work, the time in to follow and practice the philosophy that you learn. That's what I'm trying to get you to do. That's it. Living by your truth simply means what? Adopting a way of life that is what? Predicated upon what? The idea that reality is good and delusions are not. Deal with what's real. Don't get caught up in what's not. Most people live by what? Here you go. Their own deluded notions, right there. That ego. That's what the ego is. Yo, I, me, that's ego. Don't live by that. Why? Why? Because they see the world through their own egoistic desires and convictions that they have what acquired on their own throughout their life and have learned as children or through experiences in what previous lives. If what you desire in your previous life it didn't work then, don't bring it to the next one. I gave my little brother some personal marriage advice as a big brother. Your first marriage, don't bring into this marriage what caused the first marriage to go awry. I'm just saying. I'm not judging. I'm just saying, my man, if you know what don't work, don't do that in the one. In order for it to work, don't do that. Why? If it didn't work, then it ain't gonna work now. That's the concept. Well, it's wrong. It's wrong. Trust me. Because you believe it, don't mean much. What do you know? That's the difference. So get with this one. When a person lives, watch this, by their own ideals and desires, right there, watch this. It is called Shem's Ab. Shem, Shems /ab. And what that means? Those who follow the desire of their egoistic heart desires. Greed, lust, personal wishes, okay? All those things are selfish, and it don't get you to the next level. Watch this. This is explained in our ancient Egyptian proverb. There are two roads traveled by human. Those who seek to live Mayat, right thinkers, that's us. We follow Mayat. And then you got those who what? Satisfy their animal passions, meaning they're living for themselves, their ego. We know people like that. They want to be grandiose. They want all the accolades. They want everybody to think they're such a good and great person when really they really is just as bad as the people they talk about. They make their little supposed to be speeches. We know about them kind. They don't fool nobody but themselves. Okay, why? Because in the end, you're responsible. If it ain't truth, it ain't gonna work. Simple as that. So let's move on. I see the clock is ticking. But watch this. This is for those of people, I tell you, those who don't know, but believe and think they know, these is those kind of people. Just trying to bring it to your light. Now, the followers, watch this. Now, watch the difference. The followers, I don't make statements without explaining or putting in some kind of context so you can understand. Here you go. I done told you about the bad ones. Let's talk about the followers of what? The gods and goddesses that go after what? Spiritual truth, teaching, and live virtuous. The followers of their own hearts go after what? Their own desires, their own concepts, and to fulfill their own selfish passions and support those through what? Their own rationalizations. They're only going to deal with you when they can get something from you. You know them kind of people? Always make the deal. You give me this and I'll give you that. Okay, that's them. And watch this. By shielding themselves from the words of truth, hiding, being deceitful and sneaky, they shielding themselves from truth. Why? They're not perpetrating the truth. They're perpetrating the fraud. And this is direct contradiction with what? The precept of Maya. Why? She says, I have not stopped up my ears against the words of right and wrong. When you hell bent on what you believe, you close your ears to everything else. Okay, so you can't take in nothing because you think you full. Now, Mayat, the Shem Su ab, SHEMSU/ab, are what? Self-willed people who lack the capacity to what? Sejum. SEDJM. That means what? To heed. I gave that definition before. To listen and obey. Not just to listen, but it says to heed, listen, and obey. When you are God's servant and you're living, obeying his rules, that's what that means. Okay? Once you learn them, then you adhere to them and you obey them. The teachings, because they have allowed what? Their intellect to become what? Dull, atrophy, which is umet, ab, means it's spelled UMET/ab. It means dull, dense, and dull of heart. Lack of concern, just la-di-da, just whatever. Okay, those kind of people are Shemsus. The main obstacle to Shem's Mayat. Watch this now. Shem's Mayat is SHEMS/Mayat. That's following the teachings, the truth is Suga, Suga. Foolishness, helplessness, miserable, half-witted, immature nature. This word Suga is derived from what? Sugmas, SUG/MES, which means listen, suckling, baby, helpless child, etc. And Submit, SUGMIT, which means what? Foolish, silly, childish, prevents a person from giving up desires. Watch this, for worldly possessions and worldly attainments. Ain't gonna do that. Why? They love it. But also the egoistic, there we go. The egoistic childish notions are still lingering in the complexes in their mind. They haven't raised their consciousness. They're still on a lower level. That's what keeps the Ouroboros. You just chasing your tail. You're not doing nothing out the norm. You're doing the same thing, expecting something different. You know the definition of that. So the idea is, watch this. Some examples are, watch this. Lingering desires for what? Worldly pleasures. Again, pining for a loved one that broke your heart again, or having objects under the big car, fancy house, all that good stuff, etc. These are things that egoistic people, they just desire because they're worldly things. They're not wanting to know their higher self. That's why they keep doing the same thing. And watch this. Or they got lingering desires to experience what? Worldly enjoyments such as parties, travel, shows, physical ecstasies. Again, what's this thing about virgins? I don't know what y'all hell bent on that about, but it's y'all hell bent. I need me some virgins. Who promised you that nonsense? But stop. That's just a physical thing. Ah. Then you got other complexes that may be what deeply held notions about what how others will view them. We all worry about how they think about me. I could care less what you think about me. Why? It don't do nothing for me. What you think and feel about me, good or bad, don't move the needle for me. But for some of us, they want to know how do you see me? What do you think about me? Again, egoistic ideas. But people thinking about this, if others will like or dislike them, don't really care. How their physical appearance is accepted by others or their own self-concept or idea of what about themselves. Again, everything is about them. I look, what people think about me. But we know this kind of people. Don't be that person. If you're that kind of person, you might want to start making some changes. Watch this. And they may be what? Fear of embarrassment. And also, I got a boss. I used to work for a guy. He can laugh and joke, but don't say anything about him. Everybody can't handle being made, the blunt of a joke. I'd have been in comedy stores when I was the blunt of the whole night, so I can handle it. That's my point. It don't freak me out. Cool. Why? I'm comfortable in my skin, no matter where I'm at. And also, watch this. They may be the desire to what? Be the one who is looked up to and revered. They want everybody to kiss their butt, so to speak, or bow down to them. So they're so great and mighty. That's all pleasing man. Again, that's all this. Work harder. Let's wrap on them. Okay, I got a little more stuff to go here. But now watch this. The following truth means what? To follow truth, right thinkers, means letting go of your childish, immature notions. Right here. Okay, here. Your ignorant people can't and won't let closely held wrong notions go for what? Higher truth, spiritual truth. I get ancient Egyptian concepts. I get more pushback from Christian because it ain't biblical. It ain't from the Bible. And I keep explaining to them it was something before the Bible. No disrespect, but understand that we won't have that problem. I don't give biblical information. Why? It wasn't around. Most people are unable to, again, let closely held notions or sentimental, because it means something. Okay, I understand. Sentimental ideas go in favor of what? The truth, higher knowledge. And yet, that is what child does when what? They leave toys behind. In order to move on into adulthood, gotta leave childish stuff. Some of that stuff got to go. Why? I'm growing out of this. However, as human beings, though most people who have what? Become physically adult remain mentally childish. The body's grown, the mind ain't. That's why you got to learn it's a process and you got to implement it in your life to manifest for yourself. Watch this. You're mentally childish in their what? Their ideas, their prejudices, their aspirations. Sometimes this occurs because what? They have been, you ready for this? Traumatized. That means something happened to you early in life that you wasn't controlled of. And the sad part about it, I'm in the therapy business with, and you got to hear about how many people was molested by a family member. That is crazy to me. But those things happen, and that's what usually people they traumatized. I understand that, but you got to move past that. And watch this: traumatized by their earlier life experiences, and thus what happens? They are unwilling to grow up and face the world, since what? Since they see it as painful and stressful. Some people just give up. They think because they don't get no help. They don't seek no right. They within themselves. You can't solve your own problems. However, we react. So perhaps it is because they have no better way to what? Follow. They have not been helped to what? Mature. They didn't go get some advice. And since their elders, again, are also what? Ignorant and worldly. And the sad part is, that's why they want to traumatize them. That can what? Now that can happen when a society loses this way. I've been saying it for a while. When I was doing that, everybody loved it. Now that I'm doing this, man, not too much. Why they rather that? That's so the devil. It didn't suit me. See? So when people want you to be what they want you to be, don't fall for that. Be yourself. Your best self. Trust me. Watch this. Now, society has really lost its way. We got a criminal that y'all about to try to put them out again for a reason I don't know. But that's just dumb to me. You can't make that make sense. So I'm got caught up in the nonsense. But that's like how society has really lost its way. We're talking ancient. They're still losing their way to this day. Moving on. When worldly values, watch this, and desires become the goal of life, egotistic, all you want to do, I don't get mad, I get even. Get out of the way. How about that? In those cases, watch this, society itself shields itself from what? The truth. Ain't nothing about this guy say truth. Nothing. But they're going to pretend like he's the best thing going for it. He's going to say this. Please. They shield themselves from the truth of its what? Incapacity, its failures, and is unwilling to what? Do what's right. The Republican Party, I got no respect for y'all at none. Trust me. If this is the guy that y'all think, I'm done. Such a society, watch this, uses what? Material wealth. He's a self-proclaimed billionaire. Really? Why you hustling in the White House if you're a billionaire? Why you in debt to everybody? Come on, man, I ain't got time for that. You're a failed businessman. Your marriage ain't worth a crap. You ain't. Don't go there. Said about that. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just perturbed. But we got culture. Watch this. Where we at that? Such a society uses material wealth. Again, Republicans, aristocrats. Your cultural achievements, he's a good businessman. No, he wasn't. Having a military or economically strong country. We got the army. And all we want to do is exercise our right to take over somebody or take something from somebody. Really? Moving on. And watch this. Social status symbols. Here we go. As what? Smoke screens to hide the disappointment of life, the failure, society, and the bankruptcy of spiritually moral development. We ain't spiritual worth a damn. In such a society, money becomes the religious god, greed becomes the virtue, and pleasure seeking becomes the measure of success. That's what we're experiencing now with all these people getting caught doing all that nonsense. That's what they're talking about. But with every success, the individual becomes what? More and more frustrated and empty. Because you're chasing the wrong things. You're never going to be happy, numb nuts. And this promotes what? The degradation of society as a whole. My grandma said, yeah, we going to hell in the handbasket, and everybody just along for the ride. Ain't nobody going to stop it. Ain't nobody going to try to, yo, let's put some brakes. Sorry. Still got some more to go. Sorry. Now, in order to follow truth, there must be a mature willingness to face what? The errors of society and those who once owns life. Take responsibility. We haven't been in a position to do that. Why? If you got bad at the top, you got bad coming down. We need to put, why we can't put good at the top? Every time we keep talking about the lesser two evil. God damn it, get me a good person. I'm tired of this evil nonsense. Jesus. As well as what? You got to have the will to recognize and follow what? A better way. Glossing over the truth with mindless jokes and entertainment useless rhetoric or other forms of what self-delusion. And all every time this guy speak, he come out this face something, and they just eat it up. I don't get it. Self-delusions. That's he the main character. He's self-delusional. And watch this. You will ultimately delay or even stunt a person's ability to cognize the truth. This guy wouldn't know truth if he came ever introduced it to him. Because he got his own. He's in his own. Let me wrap this up. He came out, he want to have a test with the young lady, cognitive test. My man, stop the nonsense. Let me finish this up. Oh yeah, I'm sorry about that. But watch this. Now, what the ancients were referring to as the stopping of the ears against the words of right and wrong is the what same concept that present today psychologists call cognitive dissonance. I heard that word before. Okay, that's a new fancy word. Cognitive dissonance is what? Is when a person is unable to face the truth. A bunch of Christians that conflicts with what a previously held notion, more Christians. Cognitive dissonance is a psychological phenomenon which refers to what the discomfort felt at what the discrepancy between what you already know or believe. There we go, because you don't know, you just believe, and new information that's interpretations and contradictory to what you already think you know or believe. Your ears are shut. That's what they say. And most Christians, I'm telling you that's y'all. Watch this. Now, it therefore occurs when what? There is a need to accommodate what? New, different ideas. Ain't trying to have that. And I ain't giving you new, I'm giving you old. So you got to fight the old. You right about the new, yeah. But you can't fight the old. Why? It's a fact. It's proven. And watch this. It may be necessary for it to develop so that we become what? Open to them. Yeah. Be open minded to something other than what you claim to know or believe. That's all. I listen to everybody's concepts. Don't have a problem. I got my own. I got a problem with mine. I can listen to yours. I'm not worried about the fact of me. But respectfully, I'm going to listen. Moving on. I'm wrapping up. Cognitive dissonance is a necessary feature in life. Why? Sometimes life offers shocking situations, and the purpose of which is to what? Show us that there is another way to look at life. Okay. Otherwise, human beings would be what? Forever stuck and never grow or evolve. However, many people still unable to face the dissonance seek to what? Resist it or reinterpret it in a way that what is favorable to what their previous knowledge so that the previous knowledge does not have to be consciously abandoned. They're going to make it fit. They're going to make it work to what they think it is. Why? To keep from changing. They're telling you right there. The immature or mentally atrophied reaction to cognitive dissonance will cause what? Resistance to learning. If you anti-right thinker, that ain't my problem. Moving on. Resistance what? To learning occurs for many reasons. Resistance to learning can occur due to what? Unwillingness to adapt. Something that conflicts with what? Prior knowledge to which a person is committed. Christians, Muslims, Jews, religious. In such cases, watch this, those persons will what? Hold on to the prior knowledge, no matter how many empirical evidence is presented or proof given. This is usually prevalent in what? Those who, what? Here we go, follow irrational forms of what? Faith in religious settings, but also it occurs in cultural settings again, too. An example of insurmountable cognitive dissonance in the spiritual setting is the inability, here you go, to what? The inability of fanatical followers of what? Orthodox Christianity to adopt to the idea that there, watch this, is no evidence. Nothing in that book is factual. It's all allegorical, mythological. Y'all think it's literal. Therein lies the cognitive dissonance right there. Bam! Watch this. And there's no evidence that a single person called Jesus ever existed historically. That means really. only way he existed is in that book and from what they said about him. And they're still perpetrating it. Moving on, ain't it? But watch that. I got some more. And watch this. I'm not harping on it. I'm just reading the book. And that the basic notions of Christianity, the Eucharist. I know the Eucharist example from the Egyptian concept. I don't partake in the Christian concept. Why? I'm not cannibal. That's what this y'all explain. Pagan cannibalism. But y'all think it's because it's Christian in the Bible, it's okay. No, they moving on. But the Eucharist, death and resurrection, the cross, etc. That ain't no, y'all didn't create that. Okay. We're already present, watch this, where? In ancient religions. Look at a book called Christianity Before Christ. Pick that one up. You might learn something. Christianity, listen, therefore is not a revolution, but a degraded transportation of ancient, mostly Egyptian teachings, which what existed previously. I got hand-me-down info. Such people, watch this, would have even more difficulty what in accepting that the early church fathers admitted taking teachings and rituals of ancient religion and changing its name to what? Christianity, even if the evidence, the writings of the early church fathers is presented to them. What happened? Many Orthodox religions, such as Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, indoctrinated what? They indoctrinated who? Their youth. They know if they get the youth with it, then they can peddle it for another generation. If we can enlighten our youth, we can stop the ignorance for the next generation to come. Why? That would stop the curse, the ignorance. And they indoctrinate their youth. Why? With absolutist notions about spiritual realities that's not true. They promote suspension of critical thinking. That's the problem right there. They want you to think what they want you to think. They don't want you to think. I want you to think right for yourself, not under what I say. No, it ain't about that. Again, I don't do that. So watch this. They suspension of critical thinking, and watch this. And they depend on blind faith in their dogma. Right there. I don't want to be blind by nothing. In space, let's go to blind. No, my man had a phrase. I don't know whether shit or go blind. I ain't ever going blind, so I guess I got shit, but I ain't going blind. That's my point. I do nothing in the blind. That's my concept. But no, they rely on your blind faith of their dogma. And watch this. They reinforce it by what? Fear and guilt. Oh, you're going to hell. You don't do this, you're going to hell. You masturbate, you're going to go blind. See, those is all folklore stereotypes. They tell you to scare you or guilt you out of doing something that they don't want you to do. Just tell them the facts, tell them the truth. How about that? That never come to mind, the truth. We rather tell a lie and then have to be responsible later on for the kid. But what you said there, well, just tell them the truth. Right there. So there is what? Fear of going to hell. If the outside, what's this? You have fear of going to hell if what? If the teachings is not accepted. If I don't follow you, I'm going to hell. Your boy Jill, you're going to hell. Why? Because I don't follow the Bible? The Jews ain't following anything in that Bible. They ain't went nowhere, but they're the richest people in society right now. So don't give me that nonsense, please. And that you want it if not accepted, and guilt if there is what? Straying from their dogma, or even consideration of any ideas outside the prescribed dogma. Really. Those impressions of fear and guilt are extremely powerful preventive to the what? Successful learning of what? New teachings. They hold you in that state of mind, and their subsequent adaptation and integration. An example of a social culture setting is what? Racism. A person who has been reared in an environment of racism will have much difficulty what? Adjusting to the notion that there is no such thing as racial groups as far as human beings are concerned, or the knowledge that all human beings come from what? The same ancestry in Africa, etc. I'm in the lesson right there, but I'll be back like that some more. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, but this is all good information trying to help you know you and why certain people do things they do. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. I'll be back.